Nice to see you again. Yes, humans often have this bad habit to always try to delay things, not try to always face certain not so pleasant things in our lives, all those challenges and difficulties. At the end of it all, that is one of the most biggest dangerous traps in this life. If you are letting your fears and mind control you, I have also in my youth a lot of problems with this and had this habit often to delay so many things because I just did not want to face them and just wanted to stay in that comfort zone. But in some point of my life, I had to realize and make that decision that my fear or what my mind wants to do, keep me in that comfort zone, is not yet anymore allowed to control myself. I know that if I will keeping myself in that comfort zone and always avoiding inevitable, I can't never succeed or achieve anything really meaningful that I really wanted. I have to take that control back to me, and even if it's uncomfortable. So it was constant effort, day by day, situation by situation, always reminding myself that I can't be delaying. It is not serving me. It is one of the most destructive, dangerous aspects in me. So I not even give that possibility to it happen. And by time constantly being honest with myself and stick to my limits that I have placed, allowed me to achieve so many things that I wanted so much efficiently, better way. But you really can't give that even one opportunity, one chance to slip up, because other bad habit in us humans is that when we slip up one time and give that room and space to that comfort zone expand, thinking that it is not a big deal if I just this one time let go and slip up. But there is that opportunity that will create itself by doing that it will go even worse and worse by time. You will be widening those limits that you have placed if you are constantly giving that room and for that and are not strict to yourself and to your limits that you have placed. I know this very well because it is the same thing with addictions too. When I had my gambling addiction, if I wasn't strict to myself and those limits that I have placed, the things will get worse and worse quickly. If I am not strict to myself, I can't be holding the control anymore. It is just inevitable happening if I give that room and space for it. But this delaying thing, it is a bad habit. And it is a habit that you can consciously work in to the direction that you want to be in. If you are just willing to be willing to continuously work for that, being constant in what you are doing, not slip up in constantly, you can learn to control that, and then it will come more and more naturally by time. You to control that bad habit. But these things are the most crucial resolving things our lives that ultimately decide how we will succeed in this life, in what kind of extent. Who is controlling in you? Are your desires controlling you, or are you controlling them? One big part of how I face these challenges and uncomfortable things in my life is always do the work before the reward, so that those rewards are my motivation to do that work beforehand. Keep me really motivated to do my best in everyday lives. So for example, if I like to eat or like to play video games, I would do the work before that, before doing any of those pleasant things that give me joy and satisfaction, not the other way around. And this is also one of the habits that you have to consciously create in your day-to-day life. If you really want to take the control of your life and get most out of it and achieve so many things that you want in this life. By time doing these things, you can start to more easily recognize when you are just delaying things and let your desires control of you. Those situations that you are just making excuses when you really know inside you what you're supposed to do. And immediately when you recognize that you are now delaying because you want to avoid those inevitable unpleasant things in your life, then you have to remind yourself again what is important and what have to be done and how it should be done. It is so much about controlling of your mind and desires in your day-to-day life. Setting those boundaries in your life beforehand. Planning ahead what you are going to do in that day, and when you are actually satisfied to your work in that day and you are deserved then your free time and enjoyment. You have to be vigilant all the time. You have to be in control of your desires, what your mind wants to do. You have to remind always, all the time, what is really important and what is necessary and what is the right order in things that you are doing in your life. It is so easy to slip up on these things, and of course we as humans just want to so many times easy fixes and quick satisfaction, quick pleasure. But the most easiest routes are never the most. End of all, best that brings you the most joy and satisfaction and fulfillment. Something that was meant you to go for. End of all, it is your discipline and willingness to keep going again and again. Be willing to do the same again and again, keeping your boundaries willing to do those unpleasant things in the way they are supposed to, keeping those right orders in your life. That is the only and true way to lasting happiness, fulfillment, ultimately to your most efficient growth. There is no other way. You have to, in this life, ultimately always earn certain things. You have to be facing that other side and proving to yourself and to your universe that you are just deserving something rare and valuable. Ultimately, it is about how much you want certain things. Because I always know, or at least so long in my life, I always knew that what I want to achieve and get out from. I knew what I really needed to do. I have to be willing to persevere, be disciplined, working day by day, keeping those boundaries, being strict to myself, being proud of the work that I have done and seeing the growth and everything day by day. Always keeping in mind the bigger picture, not focusing on temporary pleasures, but keeping in that long-term goals and fulfillment and happiness in mind. Always building and building, and not distracting. And that building only can be happening when you are controlling your mind and desires, not the other way around. When you have the knowledge and understanding, and when you use that knowledge to create your habits, your behaviors, and then based on that setting your boundaries and following up on those, then there is no other outcome than that success, happiness and fulfillment. Of course, there is times that you don't always have to be so strict to yourself. But at the end of it all, what is always important is that you are in control of yourself and you are allowing yourself to do certain things that you are giving those freedoms to yourself, not based on your pure desires and what your mind wants to do, but what is ultimately best for you. And you are taking account all those aspects. In everything there have to be that balance. You are all allowed to be happy and enjoy this life, of course, too. But there have to be that work side before that. But end of all, it always comes up to that control aspect. Who is controlling you? And when you are constantly controlling yourself, your life will be just what you want to. There is no remorse, not anymore looking back why those things happened like they did. So I really like to be in my life control in my life, so I can be proud of my works and who I have become every day. It is not always about present, but your future. You are constantly building your future. What you do today, you will face tomorrow. And I don't know about you, if you're believing lives beyond this life, but I certainly do. So I am not only focusing on this life, but also what is serving me in after this life, in other places where I will go before after that. And end of all, always the most serving things to you that are most wonderful are those that you had to work for a long time to build, to prove to yourself that you are something special, that you have those capabilities to achieve these things and you are deserving those things. And only by building your future, focusing on that, you can create lasting happiness, where you are without any external circumstances constantly happy. But that can't be happening if you're just focusing on immediate pleasures. Thank you again being with me on this wonderful day, listening and watching. If you're interested in personal coaching, I am offering limited time freely to those services. The link will be in the description. Thank you again and see you hopefully next time. Take care.